What's up everyone, Chris Osberg here, Winding Road Magazine. I'm here with Chris Amos at the 2019 North American International Auto Show in Detroit, Michigan. A little bit of a bittersweet auto show this year because this is the last year this format is going to be held in Detroit in the wintertime. You all know what a beautiful place it is here in Detroit. Today's no exception. A little bit drab outside, cold, right around 32 degrees. But we've got some really cool cars to look at today, from the all-new relaunched Toyota Supra to the Dodge Ram, or actually just Ram, heavy duty. We've also got the Kia Telluride. We've got a whole lot of cool things to look at today, so I'm going to take you around and show you some of the more interesting things here at the auto show and give you a look, see what's going on. So come on, let's go. I've always maintained that everything looks good in Golf livery, and the Ford GT, no exception to that whatsoever, especially given the history and the absolute savage performance of this car. I'm here at the Ford booth. We've got some really cool stuff to look at today. We've got the all-new GT500. People have been waiting for this Mustang for quite a while. 700 plus horsepower, 7-speed dual clutch transmission. The thing's going to be a beast. We've got the all-new redesigned Explorer now on longitudinally mounted rear-wheel drive architecture once again, and we've also got the Explorer ST based on that. So we've got some cool things to go look at here. I will walk around and you will enjoy. There's a view of the new Explorer that everyone hates to see, but you know what? Here's a pro tip. Look for the roof rails. The police spec cars do not have the roof rails going down the front of the car. Civilian spec, all of them do. So there you go. And here we go, the granddaddy of them all. This is the most powerful road-going Ford they have ever produced. The all-new Shelby GT500 promises over 700 horsepower. That doesn't mean 701. I think we're going to come out with something very healthy. It's going to give a huge challenge to the escalating muscle car horsepower battle. This thing has an all-new 5.2-liter flat-plane V8 supercharged under the hood, and it's backed by a 7-speed newly developed Tremec dual-clutch transmission just for this application. So that's something you're not going to get in this segment. It really shows you what's an all-around performance vehicle. This is not just a drag special. This is something you're going to be able to take onto the road course. It's going to be a real enthusiast car, as well as being able to throw down a mid-3-second 0 to 60 time, and they promise a quarter-mile time under 11 seconds. This thing is absolutely ridiculous in terms of performance. Take a look at these carbon fiber wheels. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm sure they're different developments from the GT350, but definitely goes to show you the the track and handling heritage that this model is going to have. This is not just a drag pack special. Styling is awesome. You can see the bulged fenders and side skirts. You can tell the aerodynamic appointments, including the rear wing, definitely purposeful. It's not just tacked on. Got some cool heat extractors here on the hood area. Of course, it's got the Shelby snake, very visible in the front end there. Absolutely massive Brembo brakes, carbon fiber wheels. Here's that Tremec 7-speed dual clutch transmission. It's actually pretty compact if you think about it. I'm sure it will have all sorts of driving modes like launch control, track mode. They're promising shifts less than 100 milliseconds, which is quite quick for this type of vehicle. There is no repair. Looks like about a 7,300 RPM red line, slightly reduced from the 8,200 you're going to see in the GT350 with the normally aspirated engine, but I'm sure this thing is absolutely going to rev out, and the mid-range torque should be incredible. So it's 2019, it's another year, and I still don't have a Ford Raptor in my life. Kind of sad about that. But you know what? I bumped into a random guy at a bike race last week who told me he watched the Winding Road YouTube video on the Raptor, and it influenced him to buy one. So Ford, if you're listening, a couple more, maybe you guys could hook me up, please. All right, I'm here in front of the all-new 2020 Ford Explorer Hybrid. This cutaway here gives us a great opportunity to see all of the extensive changes that are going on underneath the sheet metal, which honestly, it's a new car obviously, but it is the same styling and proportion as the old one. Underneath, completely different. You can see how the transmission is now mounted longitudinally as well as the engine, so it's a new rear-wheel drive based architecture. That opens up a lot of options to a completely different transfer case and all-wheel drive system down here. We've got a whole new modular hybrid powertrain, which is backed by here by the 10-speed transmission. So this is completely different than the outgoing model. I love these cutaways. We can take a look at some of the power electronics under here. We have a liquid-cooled battery pack. They call it innovative hidden battery packaging, so it's out of the way. It's underneath the load floor. It's not taking up space inside the trunk. When the kids are really late to soccer practice, we've got the all-new 2020 Ford Explorer ST. This thing's got a 3-liter twin-turbo EcoBoost engine under the hood, putting out 400 horsepower. It's also got the new architecture I just told you guys about. It's going to be longitudinally mounted, rear-wheel drive platform. This is going to be a performance SUV bargain compared to some of the more expensive options or the more expensive vehicles you have out there with this kind of performance. Interior looks great. You've got a fully LCD cluster there. All new infotainment system. Very cool sporty flat bottom ST inspired steering wheel. Pretty cool truck. I'm excited about this one. In my opinion, I don't think there's a prettier car out there right now. If there's one brand that could nearly do no wrong, that would be Jeep. Seems that every new model they come out with is more versatile, more useful, more tough, and just basically a hit. I mean, how could you screw this up? You can't. It's awesome. So this is the Gladiator pickup truck, which of course is kind of a pickup truck version of the Wrangler Unlimited. You've got 4 doors. You've got a bed that seems just the right size to put all of your cool stuff in the back. We've got some KTMs out ready to rip. Got the full Rubicon package, which I'm sure comes with all of the required bits to go off-roading, from suspension to locking differentials to protective skid plates, etc., etc. Yeah, I'd be lying if I said I didn't want one of these, because I really do. No doors. My wife would never approve of this, and that's what makes it awesome. Power Wagon. For when your daily commute takes you across steel girders buried in the ground, we have the Ram Power Wagon. Massive Warn winch up here underneath. Yeah, those are solid axles front and rear. Those are not messing around. Beast of an engine, 6.4 liter Hemi V8, heavy duty.
I would love to have that. The investment in,
As if you didn't know, Power Wagon. All right, so I always geek out over stuff like this. Behind me, we've got the powertrain and frame from the all-new Ram heavy-duty line. So that's a venerable Cummins B-Series 6.7 liter. And now we're up over 1,000 pound-feet of torque. That is absolutely ridiculous. And when you come and take a look at the components and the hardware and how this thing is built, it's absolutely astonishing compared to what you typically see in the automotive sector. Just look at the size of this turbocharger. It is enormous. You could put like 3 or 4 automotive-sized turbochargers inside the area taken up by this thing. The hot side is just huge, and that goes down through the exhaust after-treatment system, starting out with an oxidation catalyst, then a DPF, then you have an SCR catalyst going to the back. All of that's necessary to keep everything clean on the diesel side. urea injection tank over there. This transmission is huge. Like, it is probably 3 or 4 times the size of the transmission we just looked at in the GT350. It is just big. And you know what you get with all that? You have a 35,100 pound max towing capacity. I'm laughing because the capabilities of this platform is like where absolutely over-the-road heavy-duty trucks were not too many years ago. This is like in the 60s, you could have, you know, had a business with this thing, but now it's a pickup truck. Put it in your driveway. You can get a horse or 20, and you'll be all set. Subaru fans rejoice. The STI will finally have more than 300 horsepower to play with. We have the S209 here, which is promising more than 340 horsepower. It's a really good looking car. We're going to take a look around, see what we've got. Lots of Alcantara. From the STI steering wheel to the STI logoed Recaro seats. Awesome looking car. I don't have full details on this at the moment, but I will be looking forward to my opportunity to drive one of these. What? No, that's all I do is stupid. Yes, because everything looks better in Golf colors. We have the Hyundai Veloster N behind me. So this hatch is going to be up to 275 horsepower. It is a legit performance competitor. It will be going up against the likes of the Honda Civic Type R. We've got a real electronically controlled limited slip differential, 275 horsepower, turbocharged 4-cylinder, and of course manual transmission, and the brakes and the suspension to go along with it. Legend has returned to Toyota after a more than 20-year absence. Toyota's back with the all-new Supra. You have all the classic design elements of a sports car. You have a longitudinally mounted inline-6 engine, rear-wheel drive. This time around, we have an 8-speed ZF transmission. Yeah.
I mean, it's an 86, bigger 86 in the fact that it is bigger, more powerful, front engine, rear-wheel drive sports coupe, but the 86 is really a sports car. Like a traditional sense.
Just like the 86, it's a joint venture, but this time, Toyota has teamed up with BMW to manufacture this vehicle. A lot of the BMW elements are seen throughout the car here. Infotainment system, obviously spec from BMW, as is a shifter. Turn signal, another running gear. Very good looking car. fortunate enough to have a Ford GT, I'd probably just stare at it all day, just like this guy.
Get a picture.
This one's for my 4-year-old son. He's a huge fan. Thumbs up, Michelin man. Behind me, we've got an off-road park for the all-new Kia Telluride SUV. Cadillac's here with a CTSV in an absolutely gorgeous bronze sand metallic color. If we're gonna have a 200 miles an hour sedan, might as well make it look good too, right? ATSV Coupe Pedestal Edition. Also in bronze sand metallic color. Here we've got the engine for the new CT6, the Blackwing V8 engine, 4.2 liters, as is the flavor of the month. It's hot side in, meaning the turbochargers are packaged on the inside of the V of the engine. So your exhaust side is on the inside, intake side is on the outside. I always enjoy these cutaway engines. Get a nice view. You've got the brick here for the water to air intercooler system. There's a badge right on the top indicating, I assume, this engine's built by one person at the Performance Build Center in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Back side of the engine, get a nice view. Catalytic converter. See where the oxygen sensor up here would be. See how dense the monolith structure is inside the catalytic converter. Throttle bodies on this side right here of the charge air intercoolers. Performance numbers look awesome. 550 horsepower, 627 pound-feet of torque at only 3,200 RPM. 200 miles per hour top speed. It's just crazy. And here's a car that beautiful Blackwing V8 engine's going to go into. The CT6V. 550 horsepower, 627 pound-feet of torque. Absolute monster of a full-sized luxury vehicle.